Shalom. Call halal Yahweh Bashem Shai Bashem Rakakwadash. Double honors unto the apostles and the elders. Salutations to all my fellow laborers doing this work in truth and sincerity, risking their lives and their freedom to do so now more so than ever. To the scattered elect that are scattered around the four corners of the earth that be like unto the speckled bird. And to the Akwaf that are listening and learning, to you I say Shalom. This is your brother Malcolm from the branch of the Great Millstone here in Chicago, coming at you with another lesson. Basically, this lesson is about, well, what they're all about, you know, which is basically Israel, the kingdom of heaven. And remember, Israel is a people before it's a place. So this won't be a long lesson, but it's going to be pretty direct and to the point. And, well, let me just go straight to the scriptures. This is Matthew 11 and 12. And what's going on? Hold on. It's like my app froze, Salakia. Just bear with me for a moment. Satan trying to hinder, but it's not going to happen. This is Matthew 11 and 12. Yes, and it reads, "And from the days of John the Baptist until now, the kingdom of heaven suffereth violence, and the violent take it by force." All right, and who took us by force? Look, there's no violence going on up in the heavens. There's no war in heaven. You know, the angels are getting, are being victims of violence. And no, the kingdom of heaven is talking about the people of heaven, which are the Israelites. Because what you have to understand, heaven, it has multiple meanings. All right, and the meaning of heaven in this sense is when you're in rulership, and hell is a condition. Heaven and hell are conditions. All right. And the people on the bottom in this society, look at the man. Hold on, let's just zoom in on this guy. Where are you, man? That's his whole life in that grocery cart right there. He's in hell. And he's a Jake. All right? Let's bring it back in. And let's pan around. These guys are in their heaven. They're nature watching. All right? So, to make that point very clearly. All right, so let's read that again. Matthew 11 and 12. "And from the days of John the Baptist until now, the kingdom of heaven suffered violence, and the violent take it by force." And who's the violent? Well, you just saw a few of them. How did they get all this? They got it through violence, through acts of rape, robbery, and murder. All right, let's go to the book of Micah. Verse 1 and 2, and it reads, "Woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds. When the morning is light, they practice it because it's in the power of their hand." All right, their wicked court system, redlining, Jim Crow laws, all these things that they set up, all these policies that they set up, which allow them to own property, to own land. The what they call them, the miscegenation laws that were set up in the 1600s, around the same time that they labeled themselves white in Virginia. All those laws that they set up, how you could basically they set it up where they could do anything. You couldn't take a Edomite to court. The Edomite male could own gunpowder. He could own property. He had inalienable rights that the brown people and the other people just did not have. All right, next scripture, verse 2, Micah 2 and 2. "And they covet fields and take them by violence, and houses and take them away. So they oppress a man and his house, even a man in his heritage. So when you look at this statue right here, whoa, Salakia. When you look at this statue right here, all right, this is Wicker Park. All right, how did they? So they put that statue there, all right, with the mindset that they were going to be here forever. Matter of fact, let's go to Psalms. All right, then the bastard come over here and start smoking downwind, so it blows over here. All right, that secondhand smoke is more dangerous than COVID, man. 50,000+ people a year die from it. This is a statistic. Look it up for yourself. But this is right. We're waiting for that noise pollution to go by. We're not going to have no technology to make that kind of noise in our kingdom. Right. But this is Psalms 49:11, and it reads, "Their inward thought is that their houses shall continue forever, and their dwelling places to all generations. They call their lands after their own names." This park is called Wicker Park, and it's named after that damn devil, that statue of that devil over there. All right, and they got this park the same way they got the rest of America and every place else where they are. All right, that's what's going on. All right, let's go to the next scripture. Let's go to Nahum. Third chapter. I'm going to read verses 1-6. And it reads, "Woe to the bloody city. It is all full of lies and robbery. The prey departeth not." See, we're still here. We're stuck here. All right. We have social security numbers, and we have birth certificates which link us to their banking system. All right, which also is a symbol and a like a stamp of ownership. Okay. The noise of the whip and the noise of the rattling of the wheels and the prancing horse and the jumping chariots. You hear all that noise in the background. The horseman lifted up both the bright sword and the glittering spear. And there is a multitude of slain and great number of carcasses. And there is none end to their corpses. They stumble upon the corpses because of the multitude of the whoredoms of the well-favored harlot, the mistress of witchcrafts that selleth nations through their whoredoms and families through their witchcraft. So everybody is Esau's. There's a scripture says that their tongue moving through the earth, roughly paraphrased. Everyone's under their vibration. All right, the whole world's under their vibration. That's why the whole world is deeply enriched in the whoredoms and the witchcrafts of this place. "Behold, I am against thee, saith Yahweh of hosts. I will discover thy skirts upon thy face, and I will show the nakedness, the nations thy nakedness, and the kingdoms thy shame." So everybody's seeing the shame of this place, man. You know, the shame of their history that they were once so proud of is now embarrassing them. All right. Verse 6, "And I will cast abominable filth upon thee, and I will set thee as a gazing stock." So eventually, everything that's in the scriptures that was written for us is going to come back on them. Everything that we went through, they're going to go through. All right? Salakia, let me just, got a message. I have to answer that. Salakia. All right. This is second Esdras. All of a sudden, everybody wants to. I was all by myself, and here come the heathen, and then all of a sudden they're bombarding the messages. That's just Satan, man. But we're gonna keep on pushing. So, matter of fact, I think that's the name, if I'm not mistaken, of one of the elders, Apostle Elder Rakas, channel is push on or push harder. This is Second Ezra, the 7th chapter, and I'm gonna read verses 1 through 9. All right, 7, 1 through 9. There we go. And it reads, oh, I'm in 1. I meant to be in 7. Salakia. Wow. Wait a second. Salakia. Now we got it. Yeah, I'm going to start at verse 1. Salakia, I was just getting all those interruptions. This is 2 Ezra 7 and 1, and it reads, "And when I had made an end of speaking these words, there was sent me an angel, which had been sent unto me the nights afore. And he said unto me, he said unto me, Up, Ezra, and hear the words that I am come to tell thee. And I said, Speak on, my power. Then he said unto me, The sea is set in a wide place, that it might be deep and great. But put the case of the interest where the narrow, where Slakia, but put the case, the interest were narrow and like a river, and there could go into the sea to look upon it and to rule it. And if he went not through the narrow, how could he come into the broad? There's also another thing. A city is builded and set upon a broad field, and is full of good things. And this is the kingdom of heaven. All right? And it reads, the entrance thereof is narrow and is set in a dangerous place to fall, like as if there were fire on the right hand and on the left a deep water. And the only path between them both, and between the fire and the water, so small, there could only be one man go there at once. So this narrow path that we have to actually follow the guidance that's been given to us by the Lord, and then through the elders on down to us. And we going in one at a time. That's the only way to get there. All right? And it says, and if this city were now given unto a man for an inheritance, if he never shall pass the danger set before it, how shall he receive this inheritance? So the only way, why? How and why and how? The only way we can see this inheritance is going through the streets, man. And this inheritance is the inheritance of the King of Heaven, man. Point blank, period. All right, let's go to Matthew and finish this. All right. This is Matthew, the 4th chapter. Point is in the 14th verse, but I'm going to start at verse 4. All right, and it reads, But he answered and said, It is written, man shall not live by bread alone. So, I'm going to just go straight to the point. Oh, Salakia. I'm in the wrong. Supposed to be in 24. Salakia. There we go. Yeah, and it says, And Yahushua answered and said unto them, Take heed that no man deceive thee, for many shall come in my name, saying, I am Hamashiach, and shall deceive many. And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled. As for these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. So these wars are going to just keep coming and ramping up, but they're building up to the final, all right, to the grand finale. For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines and pestilences and earthquakes in divers places. That's all happening right now as I speak. All these are the beginning of sorrows. Then shall they be delivered you up to be afflicted and kill you, and ye shall be hated of all nations for my name's sake. Why are we hated of all nations? Because we're reclaiming our heritage. And us reclaiming our heritage means the end of their rulership and their prosperity. And they don't like that. That's why they hate us. Okay? Um, and then and then many be and then shall many be offended, and shall betray one another, and shall hate one another, and many false prophets shall rise and shall deceive many, and iniquity shall be abound, and the love of many shall wax cold. But he that shall endure unto the end, the same shall be saved. And this gospel of the kingdom shall be preached in the world for a witness unto all nations, then shall the end come. And that's where we are now. And this gospel is being preached by the men of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. Call halal Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, Bashem Rakak Wadash, Wa Abba Shalom.